All right. We're going to the Hamptons here, and we're going to hang out. We're going to hang out at the Hamptons, I think. I'm not sure. I think we're either that or Cape May or where we're going here. We're going to hang out. I think there's beach stuff this weekend. So, hey, just like Jalen Hurts, I got to – hold on. Got to schedule something with Zander here, 4 p.m. There in the East Hamptons there with Obama and them guys. So let's make sure we go now. But it's a great day for the Eagles. It really is. This is what makes this team great. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who has no fear of Big Sills, my man, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What up, Big Sills?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Not only is it a good day, Sills, but it's a good life, my friend. How you doing on this Football Friday? And goodbye to Bryce Huffle-Schnufflegus. He is gone, baby.
What a great day. That guy was gone in October, though, really. Nobody really. I mean,
he was, man.
He was gone.
He was.
Sandra, this is the kind of stuff here, though. And this is the reason why you guys are doing and playing chess, and the other general managers in the league right now are playing checkers. This is a championship move here, man, because you don't take a, you don't take a massive dent in the cap. You moved money around. You got rid of a guy, and you and I said it both. If you can't play 3 downs, you can't play in Philly. And so they were able to get rid of it, man. It's, again, your overall takeaway on this.
I think this is where Howie separates himself from the pack, Sills. I really do, and I talked to John a little earlier today during your show, and we just did a 15-minute segment, and he's like, I'm not giving Howie credit because he made the bad evaluation. And what I would say and what I said to him is, find me a general manager, not only in football, but find me a general manager in the history of professional sports who shoots 100% from the field. All right. It doesn't exist. So now you have a general manager that sees when they make a move or they make a bad move. He doesn't sit on his hands and let the contract expire. He doesn't sit on his hands and pay the $9 million anyway to Bryce Huff to put him on the bench. He says, how can I bite the bullet and do it in a way that benefits my football team both now and in the future? That's exactly what he did right here. And I think this is a tremendous move. I really do. And I get it. It was a terrible evaluation. He was a bad player. It missed completely. But again, you're going to miss. So what do you do when you miss? Most GMs will sit on their hands. Most GMs will not do this. Howie went to the drawing board with his team, with whoever it was, and figured out how to turn this thing into a positive. And it cost him $9 million to do it. And he frees up a bunch of space for a team that's trying to repeat and contend for Super Bowl. This is a no-brainer move. It's an amazing move. And that all adds to the beautiful day that we're living in right now, Big Sills. Bryce Huff is gone. Howie masterclass again. And the Eagles are now in a better position today than they were 5 hours ago to try and go and repeat as Super Bowl champions, because, Sills, maybe they do nothing. Maybe they sit and this was just to get them off the books. But what they did here was, I have options. I have things I can do. I have options. I can make this move. I can make this move. I give myself room to figure out what the team needs to do and not be hamstrung and not be forced into moves because of bad moves you made prior. I think this is a masterclass, tremendous move by Howie to move him off the books and make it positive for the Eagles.
Here's where I 100% disagree with John on this. I want a general manager to take swings. The idea of him going out and being able to look at a player like that, thinking that maybe we can make him into a 3rd down and a 3-down player, it's not a bad thought. When Vic looked at it and said, we can't, I want you to see this and how Howie and Vic Fangio are working together. You played the Super Bowl with $30 million in salaries that were on the bench or in the stands eating ice cones and eating ice cream and eating beers and James Bradbury and Bryce Huff, and you still beat the shit out of Kansas City. For me, I want to have GMs that take swings. And I'll tell you how I feel about it when it comes to, the misevaluation of Bryce. Okay, but this, I don't look at things in a vacuum where I'm looking at one. True. Last year, Howie took a swing. He swung on Zach Bond. Bang. He signed Barkley. Bang. He turned around and brought Gardner Johnson back. Bang. I mean, I don't know. To me, again, Bryce Huff's move was bad, but it wasn't a bad idea, and it wasn't a bad move. The other moves cover that. I think you got to look at the group of what you did in free agency. I think you got to look at what you did as a football team, not one particular move. This is what he pivots on. He fucked up the Jalen Reagor move. You know what he did? Turned around and did? I can't believe I'm glazing. I'm about ready to throw up in my vomit bag on my airplane.
This is the move you just brought up though with Jalen Reagor is the direct catalyst turning point for when Howie said, "I'm no longer. This is how I'm going to attack my mistakes." And you can finish your point, but I know where you're going. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, the best wide receiver room in football.
He loses on the Reagor misevaluation. He turns and says, "I'll sign the greatest wide receiver in the history of the team." Now, do I look back at the Jalen Reagor and go, how did I get to AJ? Because Howie fucked up on the Reagor move? Well, shit. I'm all right with that move then because I landed on the greatest player in the history of the position. Exactly. So how do I sit there and kill him on the Reagor move when he turned that and pivoted? See, what you said is right. General managers are going to sit on a shitty deal and go like this. Fuck, I can't let everyone in my building look bad because it makes me look bad. And, you know, I have to die on the vine here with this. And look at Joe Schoen. What does he turn around and do? He gives Daniel Jones a contract extension, and he sucks at it. How he turns and does this. How can I get out of a deal, of a $51 million deal with Bryce Huff? That's the difference between the Giants and the difference between the Eagles. And it's why, Zander, you may not win back-to-back, but in the next 5 years, you may win a couple of them. Because you're going to be in a conversation here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not going to rule out the back-to-back yet. I thought you said one thing there that was really interesting at the start of what you were saying with Howie working with Vic Fangio. And I'll one-up you here, all right? How about Jeffrey Lurie working with Vic Fangio? All right? You got to remember, they converted $9 million here, paid it cash so they could clear their books. All right. If you don't have an owner that's willing to tango, a general manager that's willing to bite a bullet on a bad deal that he signed, and a coordinator that's willing to have the gravitas in the room to be able to, you know, say what he needs and them listen. I mean, it's a three-pronged monster there. And I think Jeffrey Lurie deserves some credit here. Howie Roseman obviously deserves some credit. And the other thing I think it shows you is, boy, if we didn't already know this, and I think we all do, especially with the draft picks the last couple of years, boy, Vic Fangio has some say in that room. Oh, man, do they trust Vic Fangio in that room, man? They really do 100%. It's a great setup. That's what you want. You want a coach that you believe in. You want a general manager that you trust, and you want an owner that is willing to do what it takes to succeed and win. The Eagles have it all right now. And by the way, Nick Sirianni is the head coach of this football team, and he's doing a great job as well.
I heard the word swagger, and I'm sorry, I started fucking laughing when I heard the word Nick Sirianni.
Sileo will say, great job, Jeffrey Lurie. Great job, Howie Roseman. Hey. Great job, Vic Fangio. But the head coach, you suck.
Over here. I'll give you a comparison to this. Can you imagine if you're Bill Belichick walking into the room? You look at Bob Kraft and you go, you know that $117 million contract you signed with Drew Bledsoe and that $18 million signing bonus we gave him? Well, we're going to go with the 6th-round guy, and we're going to go with him. You know that $17 million, and we're going to fucking trade him to the Bills in the division. Right. Bob Kraft's got to go like this. Well, shit, man, you won a Super Bowl. I'm going to trust you guys. And then after that, the equity gets built in. Howie's afforded this because if you're Jeffrey Lurie and you're looking at the outline of this deal, you could see that he's trying to save money today and the next 2 years because you know you've got money coming down the line here. There is no doubt, bro.
That shows you, salesman. You got bad players that are on big contracts, man. You got to get them out. You got to get them out.
You got to pivot.
That's what they've done. Yeah.
You totally have to pivot. I'm going to say this
look,
too.
The other thing I'd say, and I kind of said it, but I'll just reiterate it. GMs are going to miss. Like I had one dude who's like, Why are you praising what he did now to spend another $9 million for a player he failed on? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Howie missed. What is your what would you prefer your GM to do when he inevitably makes a miss? Sit there on his hands, put Bryce Huff on the bench and waste the money and not allow yourself to, if you want to go for Trey Hendrickson, if you want to go for TJ Watt, if you want to go and trade for Kyle Pitts, whatever the case might be, if you don't give yourself that leeway and you can't make that move, you're just doubling the bad mistake you already made. So, I think Howie made a great move here.
All right. Do you need an A+ move, a B move, or a C move? Because we are putting a lot of equity in Jalen Hunt,
yes.
Nolan Smith, okay? Do you make an A+ move and say, hey, the guy up in Pittsburgh, you have $40 million. I know that money. If you're Jalen Carter next week, Zander, and you're going to minicamp and you're going to OTAs, you're walking in and you're strutting. You talk about swagger. I'm walking in there going, that's my money. That's my money. They just freed up $40 million. That's my money. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about myself if I'm him because that's what they're doing there. So do you go, well, Trey Hendrickson? I'm like, I don't know, man. He was on a 28th ranked defensive football team, and I saw Fred Johnson kick the shit out of him last year.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true about Trey Hendrickson. See, I think a lot of Philly fans, that's stuck in their head because we don't watch Bengals football. They're an 8-win football team a lot, but we did play them last year. We didn't even have Jordan Mailata out there, and Fred Johnson went Freddie Brickwall on him, and he couldn't get by him at all. So I think Eagles fans are a little slanted on him, but 17.5 sack steals 2 years in a row in the NFL, and that's not easy to do. So,
and how many times? Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. That did stick in my mind.
What do they do here? By the way, speaking of, is J-Mac ducking Big Sills today? I mean, I'm out here in my rocking chair like a king on a beautiful day here at the end of May, rocking as Bryce Huff is officially removed from my favorite football team. I mean, it doesn't get better than this day. And J-Mac's dipping out on you, Big Sills. I think he's scared to come in here and face the music, or they've threatened to take his key card away.
Hold on here for a second here. I think I just got a text here from Bob Lane going, we have John under house arrest.
Oh, that's great.
I
don't know what's up with that, man. I'm going to have to roast Johnny Mac for that.
Hey, he's under house arrest right now over at NovaCare near the Slurpee machine.
Yeah.
So again, do you go? What do you do here? I mean, I think the priority, believe it or not, Zander, I think you need a little more depth on the D line. Not just so much the edge. Didn't they prove a year ago that they don't need an A+ edge rusher? I mean, is that really the priority right now?
Yeah, but so I agree with that. And maybe that opens up a question of, are we looking at too big of names? Maybe there's a trade candidate out there. Maybe there's somebody there where you can get a little cheaper that can do what you do, or do what you want them to do without having to go down the $35 million rabbit hole of Trey Hendrickson or TJ Watt. But here's the one thing that I would say about the edge rushing room right now. And I agree with your point of, they won last year without having excellent edge rushers, but we've gone too far. Like Josh Sweat was good last year. As you've pointed out many times, he was good against the run. He was good against the pass. He was good in everything Vic wanted him to be. Now, Jalen Hunt might be that.
Yeah.
But that's a big hope coming into a year where you believe you have a team good enough to compete for a Super Bowl. And I don't know if they're going to go into the year. So maybe it's somewhere in the middle, right? Maybe it's not Trey Hendrickson or TJ. And I don't think it can be Josh Uche and Ojulari like it is right now. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. Now, remember, we are going into June here. So how many guys are available? I don't know. They're loaded up with draft capital if they wanted to make a trade. They got the cap space if they wanted to sign somebody. I don't know about a long-term deal because, remember, you're going to have to pay a bunch of guys on defense in the coming years. So I think a 1 to 2 year guy would make sense. But it is a good question right now. Where do they go? Or, Sills, do they not go anywhere? And you load up contracts for Reed Blankenship. You prepare the contract for Jalen Carter. I don't know. Maybe Jordan Davis is in their thinking. Maybe this frees them up to do some things like that. They got a lot of, again, this goes back to my original point, though, Sells. What did the Eagles gain today? They gained optionality. They gained the ability to look at the board and not be hamstrung or pushed into the corner one way or the other. They gave themselves options. And that's a beautiful thing to have when you have a GM as good as Howie.
Absolutely.
This is a good name here. This is a good name here.
Again, here's my only problem that I would have with that. He's been productive, but he was the first pick in the draft.
But he's a little cheaper.
They're going to be a little.
Now, they just picked up the 5th-year option on him, I believe. So he's got this year and the 5th-year option coming up. So maybe that's in that sweet spot, those sales of those 1-2 years. Remember, I don't expect a big, long commitment right now before you're about to pay Jalen and Nolan and Cooper and Quinion and Jordan and all these, and Bond's under contract. So I think it's going to be, while they do have options, I am curious to see what Howie's thinking right now in order to do with what the kind of options that he's gained or the flexibility he's gained. Let
me ask you, going into Sunday and then Monday, June 2nd, you got $40 million and a treasure chest of draft picks for next April in 26. You have to be in the best position of any football team in the league that's a championship, reigning champion I've ever seen. Look, Detroit's in a good place, but they're not the champs. My question is this: does this change your fundamental thinking on Dallas Goedert? Do you think now that you do, if Dallas Goedert has a 900-yard year,
right,
75 catches, you're back in the NFC Championship game, and he once again for a second year is instrumental in that, and he plays with some health this year. Doesn't this give you the latitude? Because I don't think anything is set in stone with that organization. Don't you think you look at that and go, well, okay, well, the dynamics have changed here. We freed up more money, and we got an opportunity to be able to maybe keep a guy that we really like. How about Dallas Goedert being in a position to do this? All right, I'll take a pay cut. I'll come back because I really love it here. The Eagles reward shit like that, man. You come back and you give a player a better contract. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, doesn't that open up the door for more options now? As you said, could Goddard be one of those options next year?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Sills. I think this is exactly what I was talking about when you talk about give yourself options. Like, the easy thing to do is, okay, where are they addressing at edge? But maybe they're not thinking that. Maybe they believe Jalix Hunt is going to be good. And they, like you said, they can win without excellent edge rushers, and it gives them flexibility in other areas. Now, the beauty of this, again, and I'll reiterate, nobody wants to be in the corner, Sills. Like I tell some of these guys in the chat when they're acting like dummies, when they're acting like dummy boys, and I say, go sit in the corner, all right? Go sit in the cut corner, we call it, all right? And don't come out until I let you. Nobody wants to be there, Sills. Nobody wants to be Nobody wants to be boxed in on what you can and cannot do. And they're not right now. They got all sorts of options. They got money. They got freedom. They have everything they need right now for a 2025 team that's coming in that can compete for a Super Bowl. Whatever the move Howie and the team identify that they want to make, technically they could make it. Now, it might require a couple more hurdles depending on how big of a move you want to make, but the option is there. The ability is there. And then to your point about Dallas Goedert, I've been warming to this idea. Now, the other part of it is the business aspect of it. Just made the guy take a $4 million haircut. You think he's going to want to come? You know what I mean? It's like Josh Sweat last year. You made him take a haircut. Everybody was like, he's not going to come back. You made him take a haircut. So I don't know if Goddard would come back because I think the open market would pay him pretty good money. But I do think that option exists, and it's something I'd be happy with, especially if you're looking at a different type of offense this year where maybe it doesn't rely as much on the run game because teams come in and try and take away Saquon or whatever the case might be. I like that option, and I think it certainly exists, and can't be ruled out.
Steven says here, people thought Bond was a special teamer. No one thought he was a starter. I trust Vic to develop the edge room. Remember this, though, too, Steven. He couldn't save Bryce Huff. So remember, you've got to have the players and the Jimmies and Joes for that to be able to work. That doesn't – look, as much as Zach Bond worked for Vic, Bryce Huff was a failure as a coach and as a GM on having him be an impact player. You know why?
Right.
You paid him $17 million. So they pivoted. But to Zander's point, hey, I'm not paying a guy because he makes money. I'm playing a guy because he fits in. Zander, I'm telling you, I'm going to make this point to you about Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. I don't know if those guys are going to be good football players in Arizona and in New England. And I'm going to tell you why. Do you think New England has the same type of players that Philadelphia has? And I'm not talking about good. I'm talking about versatility. Do you think they have 3-down guys on that defense? Because you're going to be exceptionally disappointed in Milton Williams when he doesn't have 11 sacks and 50 tackles up there, because that wasn't his fucking role.
I know.
In Philly.
It's true.
My definition now, and it just come to me the last 3 days. Philadelphia's definition of a really great player is a guy who's a 3-down dude for Vic Fangio, who stays on the field, and that guy is good at all 3 phases. And that's the type of player they're looking for. That's the type of player they consider. You know how many teams in the league look around and you go like this? You got Trey Hendrickson. You've got a bunch of good football players. And guess what? Your team's trash. Why? Well, because they're not 3-down guys. Trey Hendrickson can't play to run. My point is, Micah Parsons, as much as John Glazes over that guy, he could never play in Philly. Why?
No, he can't play to run.
Because you can't play to run. Dude, you don't fit in that system. That's what Huff is.
Dude, we just had a defense. So this is where you're so right. We just had a defense that's comparable to Gangrene. And our leading edge rush, our leading sack guy had 8 sacks.
But he set the edge. He dropped. He could play the run. And get this, he wasn't exceptional at any of it. He was really good at it. And when you get 11 guys that are really good at their job versus a guy who's not good at everything he does, I'll take the guy who can do everything, because that guy's worth more to me.
Yeah.
That's what Philly has. And that's why Philadelphia identifies different type of players. You know what Vic probably saw with that guy? He went, that guy can't play in my defense, and I'm not going to play him. I don't give a shit what he makes. And then him and Howie went like this. We got to get him out of here because I'm not taking reps away from Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith. Do you not agree that that was also part of it?
Yeah.
Because they got to also figure out what they've signed, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I'm telling you, Stills, I'm like, and the more you keep giving me this fuel right now as you're spitting fire on this Football Friday, I got a cigar waiting for me right over here on the porch when I'm done on this segment.
Cigar for what? Baby. You sound like Cowboy Guy winning May.
What do you mean winning May? We're Super Bowl champions, and we just shedded the crappiest contract on the team, and Bryce Huffle Schnufflegus. The only loss we have today, Stills, is we can't say that nickname as much as we have so far. All right. So I got a beautiful day ahead. I see Brian Pumper is back in the chat crying about everything. That's all right, Pumper. All right. Take it all in, Brian Pump. It's a good day and it's a good life, Brian Pumper. We are killing it today, Big Sills.
Hey, Pump, he's going to be on the booty boat there with Cardi B. He's going to be hanging out with
you. Yeah, you guys keep chirping. You keep chirping. It's a great day and a great life.
All right, let me ask you a couple more ones here. So do you think this offense this year is going to go through Hurts or Barkley?
I'm going to say 25% less Barkley, 25% more Hurts compared to last year. But I don't know if it's going to be as pure or as clean as Jalen or Saquon. I think it's going to be a combo of both. I think Saquon's going to regress a little bit because I think that's natural. He had a 2,000-yard season last year. And I think it's going to be on Jalen's shoulders a little bit more, but not to a crazy extent. I mean, here's the reality. You can come in and you can want to stop Saquon. You can want to take away the Eagles' run game. You got to stop those offensive linemen.
No way.
All right? You can tell me you want to do it all you want. You can scheme it up. Can you get around those offensive linemen? I think 26 teams in the league cannot. So I think Barkley's still going to have another huge year. I think he's going to have potentially a type of year that could put him in the Hall of Fame talk, where I think you need to make up some ground on what he did in New York. But it's going to be a Jalen Hurts show again, man. I think it's going to be a hybrid of 23 and 24 Jalen, a little bit more passing, but the kind of protection of the ball that he had last year, the implementation of the run game, which obviously did so much. I'm going to go a little bit of both. But you like what I said with 25 up? 25 down?
Yeah. I want to show you something here, Zander. Okay,
Uh-oh.
this is Big Sills' like topic. Look at it. See, folks, what do you think? I just show up here fucking what? You think I just show up here like Harry Mays and just go, I don't have anything to fucking talk about? Big Sills shows up here. I'm going to show you this here. I wrote down, I thought that they were going to cut him, Bryce. I thought they were going to cut Bryce Huff June 1, like Monday. I thought they were going to cut him. Instead, that dude finds a way out of being able to move it. But let me ask you this. Are you putting too much stock in Nolan Smith? In honor of Mission Impossible, Ethan Hunt? Do you think you're putting too much love in these two dudes, Ethan Hunt and Nolan Smith?
What do you mean too much stock? Nolan Smith has to continue to ascend like he did last year. This is not the time, young man, to take a step backward. All right. Nolan Smith will be just fine. He's a hardworking man. He seems to have his head screwed on straight. He seems to understand what it takes to be great. And my projection on Nolan Smith is that he's going to be better than he was last year. Now, Sileo, who I'm like McMullen, I'm so objective, I won't opine on any. Okay, you can say he's only played 9 good games. He's gotten better and better and better. And I will project he will continue to get better and better and better. Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, the entire edge rushing room. You know, you brought up something about Dallas Goedert. Oh, you know, you have to give a pay cut to the guy who led the team in receiving yards. Nolan Smith's a $40 million edge rusher based on that postseason last year. He had 4.5 sacks in the postseason.
He had
4.5 sacks in the biggest moments of the year.
Oh my God, he's a 1-year wonder so far, my book.
Okay, he's played 2 years.
Okay.
He's a 1-year wonder. That's a pretty good hit rate for a first 2 years.
Every guy you signed is a 1-year wonder.
You're not clumping Azeez Ojulari.
Coochie is another one. You signed. How do you know these guys aren't 1-year wonders?
Jayla, you're going to be. I guarantee this. This is my guarantee.
I am off to a Shohei Ohtani type offseason so far. I'm like batting 375 with 20 homers right now.
Yeah,
with
3 for
my
10.
predictions.
About right. 3 for 10. That sounds right. I'm more hit. 8 for 10, 7 for 10 seems to be my range.
What are you playing softball? Big Sills is playing in the big leagues.
Oh no, you're not, dude. Your takes last year would have got you. You'd skip AAA. You'd skip AAA. You would have been sent right to single A last year with your takes.
This guy's still on the victory parade there, the JAKIB victory parade of JAKIB. He forgot.
Who are the champions of football right now?
Oh, right now, that team's
right
gone.
now. No. Who are the champions of football? Okay, done and dusted. Thank you very much. All right, Nolan Smith had a huge year at the end of last year. He played his best in the biggest moments.
Half a year.
He had a big year last year, man. He played 9 great games.
Great half a year. Yeah.
Good half a year. And how did he do in those 4 playoff games?
As good as Oren Burks did.
No, better. And Oren Burks only played 2 of them. And Jacoby got hurt in the Packer game or the Ram game?
Jacoby didn't play in the playoffs, I thought.
He got hurt in the Packer game in the playoffs, the first game in the playoffs. So Oren Burks didn't have the impact that Nolan Smith did in the play. Sills, quit lying. You didn't
have any drop off when you dropped the second teamer in at linebacker. That's
okay. So you're telling me Oren Burks had the impact that Nolan Smith had in the postseason last year?
No, I said he was better than
Nolan Smith terrorized Patrick Mahomes.
Oh Jesus Christ! This is my God. So you think which guy, in your opinion? I'm going on Ethan Hunt or Jalix Hunt. I'm taking that dude that will have a better season.
Wait, this is my guarantee. I never even told you my guarantee. It's on Jalix Hunt.
Let me hear it.
This is my 100% take it to the bank, deposit it, and cash it. I guarantee it happens this year. Dan Sileo comes on an edition of the National Football Show at some point in the season and says, Jalix Hunt has it. Jalix Hunt is him. He will bend the knee to Jalix Hunt, just like he was forced to do with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni this year.
Yeah.
You will bend the knee to Jalix Hunt, who will have a massive year for this football team. Massive.
Where's Nick? Hey, Nick, I haven't heard a goddamn thing out of you today. Where are you, Nick? Hey, Nick, where are you today?
You know what Nick's doing right now? Nick's making snow angels in his buckets of money he just signed last week. Are you kidding me?
Right. His 13.
You know that Breaking Bad scene where they open up the garage and there's all the stack of money and they just lay on top of it? That's Nick Sirianni right now, Sills.
I actually watched that.
That might be you after this Football Friday.
Hey, I actually watched that series.
Oh, man.
Holy, so
that was a good one. That was one I liked. What's that?
How you feeling as an Eagle fan right now, Junior?
Well, I mean, I feel as good as you could possibly feel on a May 30th post Super Bowl victory with the greatest GM in football, the best owner in the NFL, a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, the best offensive line, the best receiving group, a top 5 tight end, a number 1 overall defense that has the potential to be even better. Doesn't get better. As an Eagle fan, it truly doesn't get better than this, Big Sills.
So is it the no holds defense?
I
think it's still the Swiss cheese defense right now.
Yeah, but you said that last year on their way to the number 1 overall.
Defense. I know. I'm going to go with. You know what? I'm going to double down. You know what?
Okay, let's see. Last August.
You know what a gambler like me does, Junior?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you miss out on it, but you know what you do because you believe in your conviction. You go like this. Watch, bang! You go down, double down on it.
Right.
That ain't happening this year. You're going to be
So when a team like the Chiefs or the Eagles plays a team like the Panthers, just generally, who do you feel like is going to win the game when coming in? Just answer the question. Who do you feel like is going to win the game?
I feel like I'm being interrogated on the house floor.
All right, you feel like the Chiefs or the Eagles are going to win. Last August, we had one guy on this show who said they're the no holes defense. Last August, before we even saw him grace the football field. And then we had another guy on this panel last August say they're the Limburg cheese defense. That defense went on to be one of the greatest defenses in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. So when you sit here and you judge on who will be right, who do you listen to? The guy who called them the Limburg cheese or the guy who was Nostradamus and saw the no-holes defense coming? All right,
I'll be
Sills,
right.
Take it to the bank and cash it, my friend.
I'm going to ask you this question, and you and I kind of talked about it at the open of the show before we went on. Bro, how come when I see Kansas, I'm critical of the defense and some of the holes that you have. But, man, am I right when I say this? When I look at Kansas City, I know you got Patrick Mahomes. But, dude, I see 8-9 wins.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Their O-line doesn't look great. They're older. They're old at multiple positions. I pointed this out. Brady won a Super Bowl in 2004, right? Dude, you're not guaranteed anything. He didn't go back for a decade. 10 years he didn't go back to a Super Bowl. So my point is, I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. There's no doubt. And after a move like this, here's why the Eagles are in a better place than the Cowboys will ever be. It's because of moves like Bryce Huff. But, I mean, what's Kansas City doing? Relying on Travis Swift?
Relying on Mahomes, dude. I mean, that's their entire stock is in Andy and Patrick to make magic. And, as much as I like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and you brought up the most concerning part about that team. Why did Patrick Mahomes suck in the Super Bowl? They couldn't block the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're going to have a worse offensive line this year than they did last year. So I think that team is in for some trouble. I'm with you on that.
Man, I don't see it. I don't. I want to ask you one last one here. You tell me,
You sure you're done getting bludgeoned?
Oh my God, I'm destroying this segment here. Absolutely. Where's
I'll
Nick?
go all day, Sileo.
You know
I'll
where
go
Nick
all-
is? You know where Nick is? He's over in Wildwood right now, and he's picking up the cones in case that there's a shark out there, and he's working with the lifeguards. That's his gig, okay? Because I heard the offensive coordinator, Kevin Patulidisco. My voice is the number one voice in the room. You know where Nick is? I heard the word swagger this morning. I almost fell off my fucking chair. When I hear swagger and Nick, I laugh. When I see swagger and Jimmy Johnson, I'm like, okay, yeah. Holy cow. What a benefactor of having so many great people around him. I don't know who's more of a benefit, Jalen Hurts or the head coach. Jalen Hurts and the head coach have a lot in common. They got a lot of great people around them.
Oh, bullshit. You need great people around you. It's the NFL. This is not boxing. This is not golf. This is football. It's the ultimate team game. You need great. Why? Wait. Where's your boy Joshy Poo? Where's his ring? Where's Joe Burrow's ring?
That's right.
Where's Lamar Jackson's ring? Where is it, Sales? Where?
Hurts. Wait a minute. Watch this. Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. What doesn't fit? Jalen Hurts.
No, wrong.
Jalen Hurts. That's what doesn't fit. I don't know. So what do you got planned this weekend, Junior?
I don't agree at all. So it's a beautiful weekend. As you can see, I'm out here on a beautiful porch down here in the beautiful Cape May, New Jersey. My entire family, Sills. All right. We don't get these moments often. My entire Krause clan is here in Cape May for the weekend. My new 12-day-old baby niece is here. She's here. So we got a whole Krause weekend planned up. Nothing crazy. The weather's not going to be too great, but it's just a blessing to all be able to hang out together. And we got a very tight-knit family, Sills. I come from a very tight-knit family. So we're all hanging out down here. It's absolutely beautiful. This is my favorite place in the world. I tell you that all the time. Yeah. If JAKIB makes it big one day, this is where I'll be
posted up there, right?
Posting up here, yeah, for sure. But no, nothing other than that. And you know what else I'll be doing? I'll be feeling good all weekend.
Will you?
Because Howie continues his dominance, his terror on the rest of the NFL. And now we've shedded Bryce Hufflepuff. We've given us optionality. We've given us options. We've given us moves. We've given us leeway to shake and bake and return for the 2025 seasons, ready to go back and win another Super Bowl, Sills.
It still hasn't addressed your edge. You just got rid of a dude. You got to add somebody. You got to make me feel good. Got to make me feel. I mean, you got rid of a third.
Feel good. In fact, you know what? The more upset you are, it seems to be the more that this team wins. So making Sileo fit. Actually, this show might be a curse because every time Sileo's happy, bad shit happens. When he rips the team, we go on to win Super Bowls. You know?
Yeah, well.
We don't need to make you happy, Sileo.
You guys full of shit.
You think your happiness is so important? Come on, Sills.
All right, I'm going to let you go here with this. Make sure, listen, I want you to pass this on. Make sure you tell John, I mean, you know, if he needs a get out of jail card, I got a great bondsman. His name is Dominic. And I know Dominic Izzo, so he can get him out of that jail at Novacare. And I know that, hey, just make sure you tell him it's all good, man. And I listen to him, and I like all the things that you guys are doing. Hey, you make sure you tell your family, bro. Have a great weekend.
I think you're scaring the shit out of the Novacare complex.
Oh, I really do. Every time
I said it to John, he right away tell you, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, all right. He's got barbecues and furniture and all sorts of different things that came up. I don't know, man. Listen, I don't want to assume anything. I'm just wondering, a lot of commenters, Sills, a lot of commenters that are listening here on the show right now, they comment all the time. Sills is afraid of J-Mac. I think it might be the other way around, everybody. I am not sure.
Hey, all I know is this. I tried to reach out to, once again, the guy, quotations, Jeff McClain, and, Bob gives me a lot of stuff, and the guys at NBC, sure I can't. What's his name? Barrett Brooks, man. He's Sills, I love you, man. You know I love you, but I can't come on because they told me I can't. So
Everybody's
I don't know,
afraid
Z.
of a big bad Big Sills.
Z, great stuff. Great day for the Eagles, really. All kidding aside,
Yeah,
really a great day for them, man. Great. Appreciate you doing this, brother.
Yeah, let me go light my stogie up. I'm not a drinking man, but I might even pour myself a drink tonight. All right. And let's toast to the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles that will make Big Sills and Brian Pumper cry themselves to sleep at night. Okay.
Well, they'll
Big
finish
Sills.
second in the NFC East.
How do you like this? By the way, was my audio okay today? Because I might have to come here live better.
It was
great. I like this setup.
No, it was
live from the porch, baby.
Wherever
live
you were before, I'd rather have you on the porch in Grandpa's rocker.
Absolutely. I am a grandpa. At heart, I really am a grandpa.
Grandpa Joe's rocker there, man. That's what you should do the show from, right?
I'm more of a grandpa than Grandpa Joe, but Grandpa is here this weekend, and the grandbaby is here, so we're excited. But still, thank you, brother.
You got it, man. Thank you, Zander. Appreciate you guys very much.
Appreciate everybody. Oh, wait, we want to do the super chats?
Can you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, absolutely,
I'm good,
man.
Bro. I'm on a
rush.
Yeah, no, you're good. JD3 checks in. He says, Huff got 17 mil in a ring for the same production. Me, Emray's, Twiz, and Prince. Cut me a check, Lurie. I'll do nothing too.
Dude, hey,
now he's gone.
Hey, this guy deserved one of them gummy bear rings. You know, the ones that you suck on there. You know, that's all he deserved. He didn't deserve
a ring pop.
Ring.
Sam Shepard says, it seems like they are planning for no void years. It's potential.
Hey, Zander, do we now see this? There's no way you cut that deal if there's no voidable years now. You understand that those years that they had out there, they could never have cut this deal with the Niners if they didn't have those void years.
I agree. Here we go. Steven says, what's up, Steven? Steven Mosteller, $5. People thought Baum was a special teamer. No one thought he was a starter. I trust Vic to develop that edge room. Yeah, it's still some question marks there, but I'm with you.
You need depth. How about this? You need at least to get some depth in there because
the other thing I like about it though is I feel like Jalix, I feel like Jihad, I feel like even Uche and Ojulari, as much as we joke about him, I feel like Vic at least had some say in saying,
yeah,
like I see something with them, you know, and maybe there's some optimism there, but it's still a big ass for sure. Kyle Kokorski checks in. Where's Lane Johnson's barber at? I don't even know what you mean by that.
Kyle, I'm going to tell you, and I love you to death. Some of them, man, I think you've been kind of like, you know, you're starting to go in the room with Prince.
Yeah. Kyle,
okay?
Kyle, you need to go back to the drawing board. Your hot streak has officially come to an end. He says, me personally, next move is cornerback, edge, or safety. Yeah, I agree. That's the three.
But guess what? I'm going to put edge last.
I think we got him all right. You got that one before I came on.
Pump.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. All I need is Zander to fly away with an umbrella. Brian, you're going to cry yourself to sleep tonight, Brian, and we all know it, my friend. Make sure you go and load up the JAKIB Sports YouTube channel so it can help. It can be like your soundboard to cry in your misery to tonight. Okay, Pump?
Hey, Pump, do you think he drinks like margaritas with an umbrella and a cherry? You think that's what he does?
I'm not much of a drinker, man. I'm not a beer guy. I hated beer when I was chugging brews or chugging alcohol at Alabama. I did not like beer. I was a drink. Get it going. If I'm doing it, I mean,
what are you like an Everclear guy?
4% gonna do for me. I mean, come on. Give me something here. Give me something that's going to make me tingle a little bit, Sills.
Hold on. This guy's a Scotch. What are you, a Scotch and soda guy?
I don't know what I am, man. I don't drink enough. I don't drink at all. I really don't like drinking that much. I'm not like you, Big Sills.
Hey, man, so like on the booty boat, I mean, so that's not something that would interest.
I don't know. No comment on that. All right. I might have to plead on that. All right.
Wait, here we go.
What is this dork? Oh no, this dork is back. I love Sills Bob Brown.
Timu Gilligan.
Yeah, this is don't you love how all these nerds and losers and suckers in the chat just wish that they could have the swag of me? I don't think they can handle it. I really do. I think they melt over there on the other side of their computer screens in their basements. They're nerds and losers and suckers. That's what I like to call it.
Here's Pump here. Look at this here, Zander. Look at this one here. Cooking dirty steaks, smoking cigarettes, and drinking whiskey.
That don't sound too bad there, Brian Pumper.
That doesn't sound bad. All right, Big Z, you have yourself a fabulous weekend, my friend.
Thank you, Big Sills, and everybody in the chat, especially to our Eagles Nation. What a great day it is. It's not only a great day, but it's a great life. I love all you guys. Big Sills, great show once again, brother. I'll catch up with you later. All right, man.
You got it, brother. Thank you so much, Big Z. Appreciate that. Here's one for you. Big Sills Mad Dog 2020 of Sports Radio. Wait a minute. That's $3.17 for like one of them little bottles. That's what you're calling me? He's the Mad Dog of Sports Radio? Man, Mad Dog 2020. Hey, just to give some background on that. So I showed up at a place when I was at Maryland, my rookie year, my freshman year. And I bought 4 of those at TikTok Liquors. And so I was like, well, this ain't anything. I drank 4 of them. Then I had White Castle. And when the Guineas, Joe Krause would know this because actually he's a Paisan too. But kind of. Breaking grapes? Well, I had White Castle burgers and I had 4 bottles of Mad Dog 2020. And I just remember as midnight came, the pumpkin started turning from being a carriage into a pumpkin again. And I just remember this. Ooh. All I remember is I woke up. There was a ton of hamburger. I don't know how it got there in the bottom of my shower. And I was nude. That's all I'm going to say. Sorry, Sue. Just to give you that image. Okay? I had a ton of hamburger in the bottom of my shower. And I remember I was nude. I don't know why. Thank God no one was playing with my feet. I don't know. Probably true. Probably true, my friend. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't believe I ever drank Mad Dog 2020 ever again after that. Oh, man. I woke up. I remember, I was in my dorm room. I'm like, man. I look over my shower. And I'm like, why is there hamburger there? Did I spill something in the shower? Oh, ooh. Ah. My Mad Dog story. Xander's like, my Mad Dog story will not be told on air. That will die in the ether. Says, how can I catch you on your new show? I think Tampa is a 12-win team. Yeah, because they're in the – get this, JD3. Tampa is a 12-win team. They're in a shitty division, the NFC South. Yeah, you can go to my X account and you can click on News Talk Florida, and it'll take you right to 8:20, and you can listen 10 to noon Eastern. Okay, I think they're a 12-win team, and if there's 2 teams that I think, again, because we didn't get a chance to see Detroit. Right? We don't know how they would match up. That's still out there. How will Detroit and Philadelphia match up against one another, right? I don't know that yet. JD3, thank you, brother. But the 2 teams, for me, that I would be concerned about would be Tampa and the Rams, because they've played great against them. One team has beaten them multiple times, and the other team is getting better and better. Okay. Here's something else too. So reportedly from Kyle Shanahan, Christian McCaffrey's 100%. Now, I don't really know what that means. Is that going to mean that he's going to be ready to rock and roll for a full 17-game regular season? What are the 40 of all the teams out there? I would say this. What are the 49ers going to look like? Okay. Sills got P. Diddy'd. And R. Kelly himself. Yeah. And I don't know, man. That Diddy story doesn't sound good, dude. Hey, let me say this to you, Ben. I think Diddy, he gonna be away a bit. P. Diddy's gonna be away. He got every chick coming out of the woodworks now going, I woke up and he was on, we're a family show here, so, we're a family show. Burger and nude sills.